This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Greenhills Estate. But before that, this video is brought to you by Mervyn Knotts and Raznak. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Greenhills Estate map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for PC players only. Now, the reason this map is available for PC players is the map includes additional terrain angles, or multi-terrain angle. In Farm Sim 22, Giants increased the number of terrain angles, so if you, let's say, plow in a circle, you see additional angles of the terrain as you do that plowing in a circle. In FS19, there were only just a few angles, and for PC players that strive for greater realism, they really strived and wanted those multi-terrain angles. In 22, I don't think it's that big of a deal, the number of terrain angles that we have. Now, the map author here has put in additional terrain angles on the map, and as a result, it is going to be available for PC players. I really do wish that they hadn't done that, because this map, I think, would be a very, very well-received map for console players as well. Let's read a little bit of the description. Welcome to Greenhills Estate. The Greenhills Estate is located in the heart of the English countryside and has been left as pasture land for many years. Now the land is being sold for farmland. The local landowner and neighbor have some fields, so you can do contracts also. Have you got what it takes to create fields, build out production chains, complete contracts, and become a profitable farmer? This map is an interesting spin on the create your own map style of map. This map includes a 2 by 2 kilometer square size, is 4 fields of 57 buyable farmlands, 2 forestry areas, points to sell for grain, bales, and production, a sawmill, extra ground angles, that is the multi-terrain angle that I just mentioned, extra paintable ground textures, extra decorative plants and bushes, UK license plates, and a custom soil map for those playing with precision farming. This map does not include traffic, does not have pedestrians, nor does it include collectables. Let's go ahead and load on in. Now we are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, and field calculator, as well as precision farming. I will say that if you load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find this farm built out exactly how we're going to see it here in new farmer mode. With the exception, we do not own any land, nor do we start with any starting machinery that we do see here in new farmer mode. Let's go ahead and load the map up and take a look at the PDA. And for the most part, everything that is this shade of green is grassland. There are 4 fields. We own 2 of those fields at the start, and then 3 and 4 are here to the north. Those do have contracts available if they do come up. There are 3 buildable areas on the map. That is one here just south of field 3. Our own little buildable area at our own farm, and then one buildable area over here in the southwest corner of the map that really is kind of, I guess, set up for production. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lands, and you will see that we start out by owning fields 1 and 2, as well as a little bit of farmland, 13.22 acres in size total, and $240,000. Field 3 and a buildable area is also purchasable, 6.76 acres, $147,000. And if you do buy this land, there are 2 steel sheds on here that you can sell as well. Then we have the buyable production space, which is $44,000 to buy. Overall, you can pretty much buy everything on the map as well. And once you buy all this grass stuff, well, you can do pretty much whatever you really want with it. We do have all the standard crop types available to us in Farm Sim 22 available on this particular map. And with that, let's go ahead and jump up to the farmland lease screen. So the farmland lease screen is going to show us all of the buyable farmlands, how many farmlands we own, if they include any fields, and then ultimately how much those farmlands are going to cost us. So you can see we own farmland 5, which includes field 1 and 2, 5.35 hectares in size, $240,000. So we scroll through this list, you can see that most of these buyable farmlands are going to be in the couple hundreds of thousands dollars price range. I have to say it may be preferred to start in farm manager mode, get your $1.5 million, and then buy your land, buy your machinery, and kind of just get started that way, as opposed to starting here in new farmer mode. Go ahead and take a look at our field calculator screen. You can see the 4 fields that do exist on the map. They are between 1 and 1.8 hectares in size, with field 3 being the smallest at 0.9 hectares. And as far as the soil map, the map does have a custom soil map. I'm going to go ahead and expose it here, but you're really not going to see much of the 4 fields. Fields 2, 3, and 4 are basically loam, and a little bit of loamy sand and sandy loam is going to also pop up in field 1. Of course, you will see much more of the custom soil map pop up as you start exposing more and more soil with a plow and creating those fields. But as you can see, loam, 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 and then a little bit of sandy loam and a little sliver of silty clay down here on field 1. We take a look at our crop counter. We do have the standard base game crop counter that is available to us in Farm Sim 22 on this particular map. We take a look at our prices screen. You will see that we do indeed have the ability to sell all of the products that we can grow on this map, including sugar beet cut. We also have the ability to process our eggs, wool, and milk. Silage, hay, straw, and grass is also available for sale. And then as we scroll through our productions, you will see that we have the farmers market products and the warehouse products as sell points for all of the base game production items. We also have the ability to buy bulk lime. We have the ability to process stones at the warehouse. And if we do play with pumps and hoses and we create separated manure, we could sell that also at the animal dealer bale sales or at the farmers market products. As far as our starting equipment goes in new farmer mode, we start out with all the equipment owned. None of it is leased and is all new. No operating hours, but it does have a fair bit of time on it. Here, 18 months, 24 months, 36 months. We do not have any animals at the start. We do have contracts available, as I said, on fields 3 and 4. Depending on how you start out, you may or may not see contracts pop up because we do have just a limited number of fields that contracts are available. We do not own any production chains at the start, and there are no collectibles on the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. Start out with the Massey Ferguson 7720S medium tractor, the Dutzfar Topliner 4090H harvester that is paired up with the 4090H grain header as well as the 4090H header trailer. We have the Kloss Karat 140TD trailer, the EcoMat plow. We have the Pottinger Terrasem C6F seeder, the Breedall K105 lime and fertilized spreader, and then we round it all out with a 1,000 kilogram front weight. Take a look at our mods and DLCs. You'll see that there are no custom vehicles or implements that are included with this particular map. And let's go ahead and take a look at the build mode because there are a lot of textures and placeable plants. I'm going to get over here to one of these fields that we own at the start, and we'll start putting down various ground textures and plants. So here we are, and we do have the ability to sell the old barn, this garage, and the fence line. So if we come in here and clear out this forest, this little bit of tree area here, we do have the ability to build out our own kind of farm here on this section. But let's go and take a look at our ground textures. So we have all standard sheds, silos, extensions, containers, tools, and farmhouses, as well as production cell points, greenhouses, and orchards and generator. All standard stuff, no additional things built into the map. All standard animal pens. But when we get here to landscaping, that's when things will take a little bit of a turn. So we have our animal mud, asphalt, we have cobblestone, concrete bricks. I'll have to say that cobblestone. There we go. Okay. concrete tiles, dirt, dark dirt, dirt pebbles, that's a new one, forest ground with leaves, forest ground with needles, grass, dry grass, gravel, gravel dirt, gravel dust, gravel grass, gravel moss, river mud, river bed, rock, granite, water puddle, and there we go for our ground textures. And trees, we have all of the FS22 trees across all of the base maps available on Greenhills Estate. And then when we look at our plants, we have a bounty, an absolute bounty of various plants that we can put down. So we have meadow grass, grass small, another form of grass small, grass medium, grass tall. We have that type of thing. We have a light version of that thing. We have them prim, yeah, that one. And then we have Rumex small. Okay. We have Rumex. We have Rumex brown. We have Apera, whatever that is. We have a pink version. And then we have a, that version. And we have a red version of that. We have, whatever that is. And then we have some coneflower, something I can pronounce. We have daylilies. We have a bush with grass, it looks like. Another form of bush. We have some more bushes. And even more bushes. And if you ever had enough bushes, well, then you have some blueberry short bushes. We have blueberry small bushes. We have medium blueberry bushes. And then big blueberry bushes. Because, of course, we need it all rounded out with tall blueberry bushes. Then we have boxwood small bushes. And, well, guess what? Medium. Big. And then we have hazelnut small bushes. We have hazelnut medium bushes and hazelnut big bushes. Wow, boy, that is a whole lot of stuff. So do I remember the names of all these ground textures? No, absolutely not. So let's go ahead and take a look at them in a little closer detail as we just kind of move through. Here we have our cobblestone. And all of these textures do appear to be using the new texturing technique, which is good to see. So a trend that I think should extend across all maps is all of these really cool textures being included. Math author, texture author permission, obviously, assuming it's been provided. But man, these are really, really nice looking textures. You really go to town in building out your own kind of area here on all of this pasture land. And we go through the various iterations of gravel and gravel dirt and dust and such. Now, with pumps and hoses being out, I think this would be a really interesting map to just build some massive BGA complex out, and you have got all that grass to work with. Now, let's go over here and take a look at all of these grasses, shrubberies, and such. Remember, this was meadow, and then we had just kind of short meadow grasses. Medium and tall meadow grasses, and then plants I couldn't pronounce. Really cool. Lots of variation here, so you're definitely going to be able to really go to town and, like I said, create an area all of your own. No two Greenhill Estates gameplays are going to look the same as a result of having all of this variability. Let's jump back over here to our shop and then do a little bit of a ground tour of this area, which is going to include a couple sell points. So this particular sell point is going to be identified as the farmer's market. We also have the farmer's market products. There were a diesel station and a farmer's market store. So we're going to sell our grains here at the farmer's market. Various farmer's market products are going to be sold here. We have a fuel point. And then we can buy various products at the farmer's market store located right there. Now, I don't think we're going to have a need to do a fly around on this map because, again, it's all grassland other than a few other little points of interest, which we're going to take a look at as we do our fly around in some detail. I think I remissed we didn't take a look at our farm shop or vehicle shop trigger. So we have our vehicle shop located right there. And then around the back, we have our customize, sell, trade, repair, repaint dealer trigger located here around the back. And then, of course, we've got our starting machinery all kind of scattered around here. As we take a look up the eastern edge of the map, we're going to make our way up to the second buildable farm area. We do not own this land at the start, but we can buy the farmland buildable area and field 3-in-1 purchase. And we can sell these sheds on here if we want to, or we can, of course, keep them here and make use of them. But this is a kind of an alternate area that you could start out with in farm manager mode or start from scratch. And as I said, in either of those play modes, these buildings do exist. So we could clear this out, build out additional areas here. Then we have fields 3 and 4. To the north of this buildable area, we have a forested area, and just beyond that, well, that is where we're going to find our sawmill, which is our only production point available on the map that is pre-placed. So we have the sawmill, that is the only factory pre-placed, but we do have areas set aside for the possible inclusion of additional factories. So we are going to give the map a full point with respect to having production built in or areas set aside for such. We have our plank spawn point, we have our wood chip point, we have our wood drop-off point, and our wood sell trigger located right there. And then around the side, we have our interactive trigger to buy and interact with the sawmill directly. The map is not flat, but it also has some subtle rolling nature to the pasture land. You will see that we have kind of fields that are split off, or pastures that are split off by hedgerows. Those hedgerows or shrubbery rows, bush rows, are not collisioned, other than the fact that they do have some trees placed here and there. This is a really interesting concept, as I said, for a build your own map style of map, because it's all grassland. We could use it as grassland. We could put down a pasture land and have the kind of large, lots of cow areas, lots of sheep areas, and kind of open pasture mods that we could put down here. Or we could dig up any of this land and go to town with more traditional fields and farms. We are giving the map a full point with respect to having built-in sell points that include all crops, base game, and production animal outputs. We're going to give the map a full point with respect to can the farms be customized, because the buyable farmlands that do have buildings on them can have those buildings sold once you buy them. You can also sell the fence over at the starting farm. So in that case, all of the farmland is totally customizable. Here we have our animal dealer and our animal dealer bale sell point, as well as a water trigger. We have our bale sell point located here, a water trigger, and then the animal dealer to buy and sell animals located here around the side. Just down the lane from the animal dealer, we then have our warehouse and warehouse sell points. So our warehouse sell point and our warehouse grain sell point there. Then this whole area beside the warehouse is a third buildable area. You can put down an interesting pumps and hoses biogas plant. You can put down a base game biogas plant or any other items that you may want to put down here. You can even build out a third farm on here if you're going to play this in, let's say, multiplayer with 2 other players. With respect to trigger and interactive areas being clearly marked, I do believe that they are all clearly marked. So we are going to give the map a full point there. And if you are keeping track, then that is going to put this map at having a score of 5 out of 5. So we do have production or areas set aside for that. We have the ability to sell everything that we can make, create, or build. We have the ability to customize our farmland. And we have a basically build your own map style of map. So we have the ultimate in flexibility in that as well. The few buildings that are on the map are using the new texture technique. We have an overabundance of ground textures that are using that technique, as well as paintable plant textures. And the interactive areas are indeed clearly marked. So let me know what you all think down in the comments below with respect to Greenhills Estate. Are you going to give this map a gameplay if you are on PC? And if you are on console, do you wish that the map author didn't include those additional terrain angles so you could have had an opportunity to enjoy yourself on this map as well? I really do hope that they update this map, maybe remove those additional terrain angles, and let the console player experience Greenhills Estate, because I think it would be a pretty big hit for console players in general. And until next time, guys, happy farming.